What's up, draft dudes? Today we have a special episode. Welcome to episode 5 of our podcast, and today's a very good one. I know you guys are gonna like it. I'm excited. We're all excited here. But let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Host, co-host, how we feeling today?
What's up? All right, guys. Today we are joined by someone who has built an outstanding career both on and off the field. A former four-star recruit from Warren Central High School in Indianapolis, Sheldon Day. He went on to be a star at Notre Dame, where he earned second-team All-American honors before being selected in the fourth round of the 2016 NFL Draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Since then, he's put together an impressive NFL career, spending nearly a decade in the league with organizations including the Jaguars, 49ers, Colts, Browns, Vikings, and now the Washington Commanders. But his impact does extend far beyond football. Sheldon is the co-founder and president of the Players Company, an organization dedicated to helping athletes build generational wealth through financial education, investment opportunities, and long-term planning. He's also the founder of Sheldon's Daylight Camp, which provides opportunities and mentorship for young people in his hometown of Indianapolis, which continues his commitment to giving back to the community. Today, we'll be diving into his NFL journey, his journey through Notre Dame, and what it's taken to sustain a long professional career, as well as his passion for entrepreneurship and financial literacy, and what's next for him. So, without further ado, we want to thank you, Sheldon Day, for just coming on and talking to us.
Man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all make it seem like I just did so much. I'm only 30, man. Come on, y'all gotta lighten the load a little bit. The expectations are up there now. Dang.
My bad.
I appreciate y'all having me on. I'm super excited.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we're excited, man. We're excited.
Yeah, we are very excited to have you on here, man. Okay. Well, first things first, just give us a quick rundown of your career, both in the pros, and then what else you're doing with the Players Company as well.
For sure. So Sheldon Day from Indianapolis, Indiana. Went to Warren Central long time ago, which is crazy to say that now. 4-year player at Notre Dame. Should have been a 4-year starter, but that's a story for another day. Went to the national championship, lost, played in a lot of big bowl games. Drafted. I should have been a first team All-American too, but we can get into that. Drafted in the 4th round to Jacksonville. I love my time at Jacksonville. Was then waived and claimed by the 49ers, which was an amazing opportunity for me. And I think that kind of helped propel my growth as a player and as a man. And then spent time with the Colts, the Browns, the Vikings, and most recently the Commanders. So definitely been a whirlwind of a trip. I played overseas 4 times now. So football has taken me a lot of different places and wouldn't want to change my journey for anything.
That's awesome. Where overseas did you play?
Played in Ireland, London, Spain, and somewhere else that I can't think of right now. But I mean, football's taking me all over the world, which is crazy to say.
That's really cool. It is growing. It is growing more globally. So,
yeah.
What's your opinion on that? Just like how the NFL is trying to incorporate such global value.
It makes me nervous for players from a performance standpoint. Like you're on these long flights, 18 plus hours. And then obviously we have regiments and stuff like that we follow throughout the week while we're in the States. So when we go over there, everything is just shifted, changed, and you only got 4 days to acclimate to a new time zone, different type of surface because they play on grass because we're used to playing soccer stadiums. They're not used to holding guys our size. So surface and things like that. It's a lot of nuances of the game that most people don't understand. So I'm fearful of the future and people getting like major injuries on soccer fields, but I mean, it's a cool experience to go over there and the fans know who you are. They hype it up for an entire year before you get there. So it's a really cool experience.
That is really cool. I guess I never really looked at it from like that perspective, from the athlete's perspective. I just kind of, I knew about the time changes. I just didn't know about all the other things. Like it's such a short span that you have to like get acclimated.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay. Kalenda, you want to go next?
Yeah. So in college, what was the hardest part in terms of developing into an NFL caliber player?
Ooh. I'll probably say the speed of the game. It was definitely a notch up, especially going from Notre Dame and then to the pros. Everything happened a little faster. Everything was more detailed, and it was a sense of urgency every single day to be your best. And at Notre Dame, they give you time to develop, but when you got to the league, it's like you have to be developed now, and they didn't wait for anybody. And especially at that time when I got to Jacksonville, they were at a pivotal moment where the offense was good. They were trying to bring the defense back, and then they invested a lot of money into the defense, and then we went to the AFC Championship. So it was just a lot of things that had to transpire. And then Leonard Fournette came my second year, so it was like we were right on the cusp of being really, really good, and we kind of let that success get to them, and they haven't been back to the AFC Championship since.
Yeah.
Were you part of the Saxonville team?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Okay.
It seemed like everything was going right. Everything. Like we'd run ET game and it'll get a sack. We was running inside games, it'll get a sack. Everybody, it's like we could do no wrong. And when you got lockdown corners and Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye, and then you had a back end with Barry Church and Tyjon Gibson, it was just, I mean, everything had to go right for us that year. And it was beautiful to see.
That's awesome.
Those are
That's
some
awesome.
fun teams to watch.
I know those games were very entertaining to watch. My dad was he was a defensive guy and he loved it. Like he loved how you guys played defense. Walk us through your mental process going into the combine, and then what was going through your head while you were participating in it, and also your pro day as well.
Oh yeah. I would say going into the combine is probably most nerve wracking because you got, let's say, 5 seconds max to change your life. So it's like you got, like, for me, I know I was supposed to run a 4.6 like Aaron Donald if I want to get drafted in the first round, which didn't happen. So it's like I've been training for, let's say, 3 weeks because I went to the Senior Bowl, and I'm seeing my time. It's like I'm not running no 4.6, so I had to be real with myself. But it's also a time where it's like you work on these drills every single day, trying to get faster, trying to get faster, trying to get faster, and your time's not coming down. So it's a little demoralizing where you are realizing that, dang, I'm not as fast as I thought, I'm not as strong as I thought, and I'm about to go compete against everybody across the country about how I'm supposed to show I'm better than these guys or more athletic. So the combine is just a nerve-wracking experience. They keep you up late, they poke and prod you. They try to do everything possible to make sure that you have the worst performance ever. And that's going into it knowing that you're not going to run the fastest, you're not going to be the strongest. So it's all a mental thing. And then when you get out there, you just got to block out the noise and just go run as fast as you can, do the best you can on bench, broad jump, vertical jump, all that stuff. And then at the end of the day, it's about a 30-minute workout if you put it all the time together, but it lasts 3 or 4 hours. So that's the most annoying part. So it's how long can you be your best for this one day? And that's kind of how they think of it from a game day situation. They try to switch up schedules, try to throw curves at you. It's just an insane experience to where you can't really describe it unless you go through it. And then once you go through it, you're like, I wish I could have did this better. So it's a crazy experience.
Yeah. I know like from what I hear from like other players and stuff, like just in other interviews, they always talk about how they tried their best to have no regrets in the combine, but yet they still end up having some.
Always.
Yeah. That's definitely crazy to I guess I never really understood how long it stretched out for,
Yeah.
Like that's
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so going into the draft, what were your kind of expectations for the league, and what were your thoughts the moment you got drafted?
Ooh. I guess going into the draft, my agent told me I was gonna be a second round pick. I might fall into late first round, so I'm over here hyped. I got a draft party going. I'm like, oh yeah, my name definitely gonna get called. Night one go, and then my agent like, oh, it's all good. We knew that you weren't gonna be a first round pick. I said, hold on, we knew that. You said it was a possibility. So it's just like you just get that such a high expectation for yourself. And then going into the second day, I'm like, all right, well, he said I'm gonna get drafted tonight. So I have a big draft party with all my family. Everybody's over there drinking, having a good time, partying. It goes into the third round. He's like, oh yeah, I just know for sure that the Cowboys are gonna draft you right here. And then they drafted another D tackle. And when I tell you my heart was broken, I said, man, ain't no way. I'm over here yelling, screaming, mad at the world. And then the rest of the third round goes and I don't get called. And then my agent's like, oh, well, I'm going to call all these teams. I'm going to see what happened, blah, blah. The Cardinals called. The Jaguars called. There's like 3 or 4 other teams that called and was saying, like, oh, yeah, we're going to get them at the top of the 4th. And I was like, you know what? Forget that. I ain't going to the league. Like, they got me messed up. I should have been a second-round pick. So all this stuff is just like, it's such a big moment, but then once you kind of realize and get past it, it's not that big of a moment. I know fifth, sixth, seventh round pick that made it longer than first round pick. So I was really upset by getting drafted in the fourth round. I thought I should have been drafted higher, but I mean, they saw me as a tweener. I wasn't fast enough to be an Aaron Donald, wasn't strong enough to be what's his name? The big Sheldon kid from Washington that went the year before. So they just didn't know I had a true position. So yeah, Danny Sheldon. So I just was a tweener and nobody really wanted to take a chance and do stuff like that. But 10 years later, still rocking and rolling and wouldn't change it for the world.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when playing almost 10 years in the NFL is no small feat at all. I think it's that's definitely shows that you're able to produce in year out. What's one thing that you had to do and you made sure to do to like stand out and compete year in and year out on these different teams and just in your first year as well?
I would say it's my leadership and then my ability to execute the plan. So what I learned, Telvin Smith told me this my rookie year is you got drafted for a reason, go be you. And that kind of stuck with me for my entire career. So I'm a quick switch guy. I use strength when I have to, but that's not my game. But how do I leverage everything that I can do to make this defense fit Sheldon Day's play style? So he kind of helped me along with that when I was in Jacksonville. I got to San Fran. We were attacking scheme, but nobody was really attacking. And I was like, well, if they're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then we brought in Chris Kacirik my fourth year. He was all attack. I hated 4-point stances, but he tried to make me do it. I was like, look, I'm a 3-point stance guy. It just is what it is. And like just attack. And then my thing is like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die on my own sword. So I'm going to be quick, fast. I'm going to try to get around. I can pass rush. I can do these things. But at the end of the day, I can say, well, at least I went out my way. So that's kind of one thing that I stayed true to my entire time.
Awesome. Would you say like defensive linemen, they kind of have to have like their shtick, like what works for them, and then just like just make it their own, or do you think all schemes or they should be able to fit all schemes?
I feel like you should be adaptable to all schemes. Maybe like me, I played in the 3-4 before. I wasn't the best at it, but I knew my limitations in it. So I knew if a tight end was coming down and I was a 4-eye, that was my weakness. So I play a little heavier on the tackle, knowing that the tackle couldn't beat me to the B gap because I was faster than him. So it's little things like that where you can blend and make a system build off of you, if that makes sense. But I wouldn't say everybody should fit everything. But if you know yourself, I think that's the best thing you can do coming from a D tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of on that same note, you played on multiple different teams throughout your career, and you have been able to produce on every one of them. So what's the kind of like the hardest part of like learning a new scheme, or I don't know if you've been through any coaching changes off the top of my head, but stuff like that.
It's adapting to people's personalities. I think that's the hardest thing because when you go to a new team, people have already built relationships, people have already built connections and stuff like that. So coming in as the new guy, it's a little hard to kind of break the mold. But what I've learned is if you go in and be yourself, like nobody really cares. We're all here to win games. We're all here to make money. So if we all have that common goal in mind, it's a little easier to, I guess, get along with somebody. But there has been a couple teammates where they're just stuck in their ways. They don't like me, X, Y, and Z. But I mean, at the end of the day, you don't like me, I probably still like you, and I'm gonna keep pushing along. So I have been through one coaching change. That was my second year in Jacksonville. We had Tom Coughlin come in, and he kind of changed the whole dynamic of the team. And it was different. I'll say that. A lot of those guys, if you hear about them talk about the Tom Coughlin experience, they don't really speak highly of it. But I kind of let them do the talking on that situation.
Yeah. Well, so moving more towards your company in a sense. Real quick, if you want, just explain what you guys do and how you guys do it. Just for those that don't know, that'd be great.
For sure. So, co-founder of the Players Company, the whole goal and the whole gist is to how do we eradicate financial distress from athletes, whether it's women or men, and how do we make sure that we come together? Because right now, business is fragmentized amongst athletes. The best business leaders in the world, they do business with other good business people. So, why us as athletes? Why don't we connect and kind of communicate around what we've done wrong, what we've done right, and where we're headed, and kind of just leveling the playing field, because obviously we put all our being, everything that we have into this one sport. But once that sport ends, what is our life like? What's our quality of life like? And how do we continue to have passion surrounding our next endeavor? So the Players Company, we build financial systems and infrastructure for athletes. And then we also help them get back to their community in which they come from to make sure that they made it out. Let's help the next 50 to 100 to 1,000 people make it out as well. And then we also host live events where we host webinars. We teach people about financial literacy. We teach them about investment access and things like that. And then we also have podcasts where we talk about everything sports, from women's sports, men's sports, emerging sporting leagues and stuff like that, and talking about true ownership and how we can start transforming, I guess, the new direction of the new leagues that are being created.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So to piggyback off of that, what are like some effective ways that you guys help athletes generate this wealth and help provide for their community?
Yeah, I think the biggest asset that we've given athletes is the ability to ask why and know the answer to that why. A lot of people just let things happen. So why do you pump gas? Well, I need to pump gas so that I can go to work every single day. So if you can just know that, oh, I'm going to work every day, and not know why, I think it kind of changes the mindset. So if you can go ask your financial advisor, why are you putting my money in this? And you already know the answer to it, and he gives you the wrong answer, it kind of changes your leverage in the situation. So I think that's our biggest ability that we have given athletes, and the ability for them to understand that just because I'm a San Francisco 49er, I can still do business with a New England Patriot or a Jacksonville Jaguar or a Denver Bronco. Like, at the end of the day, we're all athletes. We all have a common goal to make as much money as we can in a short window. So why are we not doing it together? So I think those are the two big things that we do to help them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So obviously NIL has become like the new rage in like sports discussions and everything. So what advice would you recommend to college athletes that are about to venture into the NIL space?
I'm still trying to figure this out to myself. So dibble and dabble in it, trying to help kids understand representation, understand who are these new found agents? Like, how do they add value? How do they know these GMs? How do they add on to your career and add on to the ability to make money right now? I guess it's still the wild, wild west to me, because why is a kid getting paid 1.5 and the other kid getting paid 300,000? So it's just like, yeah, let's say they both produced, they both did this. Now it's like, oh, well, the branding, all this other stuff, what school they go to. So I honestly want to say, find the right team and make sure that you interview somebody every single day. So just because you have an agent, just because you have a manager, just because you have somebody in your corner that's helping you, always have them on the hot seat, because the day they get comfortable is the day you get taken advantage of. And that's what I kind of found out through the NIL space. All these kids see, oh, I'm gonna make $500,000 next year. Okay, well, why is he not making you 600,000? Keep challenging them to make sure that they get the best version of you, but then you also get the best version of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess and since NIL is always changing,
Yeah.
I guess you never really get a full grasp of it. So what do you kind of make of the way that the college football landscape is moving in with all this NIL and transfer portal stuff and coach carousel stuff? So what's your thoughts on that?
I kind of put myself in a situation and how my college career went. I was thinking, like, would I have transferred for X amount of dollars, or would I have tried to finish it out with my teammates? I think it's a little hard to build a true team knowing that you're on 1 year rentals. So as a college coach, I would hate to be in it right now, but as a player, you know that if I go out and ball, I can go get or ask for more money from this school, and if this school doesn't give it, I'll just enter the transfer portal. But then it's kind of hard to build camaraderie around, because you don't know if your teammate is going to be in there next season. So the landscape is kind of messed up, but I commend like the guys like Indiana. They kept that team together, kept the nucleus together, and they won that championship after going to the playoffs. You got Notre Dame, who rarely loses players, but I know they do. But it's like, okay, well, we're going to just kind of dibble and dabble in the transfer portal, but we're going to really build our program from the ground up, and we're going to invest in the players that we recruited and bring here. So it's about those teams that can really keep the kids there. I think it's pretty cool, but I think college football is going to be even crazier over the next 3 years, because I know they're trying to limit the transfer portal, but then it's like all these excuses, like, what if my coach leaves? What if this happens? What if this happens? So it's going to be really on the NCAA to kind of figure out the intricacies of this. whole NIL wave that we're in now.
Yeah. What does your company kind of advocate towards that, like, I guess kids staying at schools or transferring to get more NIL? Do you guys advocate for one or the other, or is it both?
So we actually have a partnership with an NIL company, and their big, I guess, motto is how do we keep the player in mind first. So let's say it is this family. Let's just use you, Jackson. So let's say you're at Western Michigan and you want to transfer to IU, Purdue, or Michigan, and Michigan is offering you $1 million. IU's offering you 850, and Purdue's offering you 300. But Purdue, you're a guaranteed starter. Indiana, you got a battle, and then Michigan, they just want to get you in because you're a hometown Michigan hero, X, Y, and Z. So now we go back and ask you, well, what are your goals? Do you want to play in the NFL? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And we kind of let you kind of figure out what you want to do, and then we build a plan based off of that. So if you want to play in the NFL and you're going to be a guaranteed starter at Purdue, let's go to Purdue route because you can make your money on the back end in NFL. But if you want guaranteed money now and you don't really care about playing in the league, let's go chase the Michigan money and make 800,000, and that's just going to be the top end of your earning potential. So we kind of yes, we formulate the plan, but we also put it back on the athlete because they're the one that's going to have to live with the decision at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So planning is very important for you guys. Like
Oh,
helping them not in a way, not necessarily map out their career, but kind of map out a good like scheme or like a good plan, like somewhat of a plan to help them see down the road in a way.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because I guess like everybody has human nature where you think about what's right in front of you. Like if I have
Right.
a piece of candy right here, but I know it's gonna put 15 pounds on me tomorrow, but the candy tastes so good, I'm gonna still eat the candy because it's right in front of me. But if I know that it's gonna put 15 pounds on me and I don't want to gain weight, I'm like, maybe I won't eat the candy. So it's just about having the options kind of mapped out for you so that you can make the best decision for yourself, but having the end goal in mind to make sure that it's still achievable if I choose A, B, or C.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Kalina.
So what was your biggest motivation for starting your company, and what has been like the biggest things you've had to learn as you've taken on this journey?
Ooh, the biggest motivation is athletes experiencing financial distress. Uh, I had a teammate that was going broke at the time, and he was playing, getting checks, and it's just like, how is this happening? Like, reach out to your financial advisor. Like, what is he doing? What are the people who are supposed to have our best interest doing to make sure that this doesn't happen? And the answer was nobody was doing anything. So it became a passion project for me where I never want to hear about somebody going broke again. Like that's kind of my goal to be at the end of it. The player company blows up. Somebody says, "Hey, we want to buy the players company for $2 billion," and I can honestly say no because we have changed so many lives, and we don't want to just be another statistic where athlete company grows up, but blows up, and we have all these athletes under the platform, and we just sell their information. So that's kind of our goal to make sure that we kind of eradicate that, and that was kind of our mission to start it. And then our biggest obstacle is just learning athlete behavior. It changes daily depending on how much money you have, family situation, all these type of things. So it's kind of cool to continue to learn and see how behavior has changed, but that's kind of the most difficult to track.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Right.
I've been seeing a lot of clips of mostly kind of NBA players, but also some NFL players talking about like how like the contracts they sign aren't
Yeah.
really, like you sign a $20 million contract, taxes take away a percentage, and you think you can buy the house, the cars, and by none of that you really don't have all that money. So, uh, kind of what are your thoughts on that? Because you see a lot of people saying, "Oh, you still have a lot of money though." So
Uh, I think it's what type of lifestyle and what type of quality of life you intend to have. Like I know I seen was it Odell in his $100 million comment.
yeah,
When you look about it on paper, like $100 million sounds like a lot of money, but when you gotta do 50% going to taxes, and then you got 3% going to agent fees, so now you're at 53% before you even see a dollar. And expenses where you got to pay for a house, you got to pay for your lifestyle, your car. Probably got a family, you got child support. A lot of guys have kids, so then you should just see the money just slowly dwindling, dwindling, dwindling. And it's now you put it in perspective, like maybe 100 million isn't enough, or it's not that much. So it just depends on people's lifestyles. A lot of people are frugal, where they don't have a family, they don't have this, they don't have this. So it just kind of depends on the individual. But then you got somebody like OBJ who's in the spotlight in New York, in LA, doing Fashion Week, doing all these type of things. So his access is more. So he probably needs a little bit more to live a comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. For other, young black entrepreneurs that are trying to make a way for themselves, like what advice
Yeah.
would you give to them in terms of starting?
Don't be scared of no. I think that was the best advice I ever got. Just because 3 or 4 people might say no, the sixth person might say yes, and that's the only yes you need. So always chase that one yes, and don't be scared of no's, because uh, I've heard a no a lot in business, and it wasn't no right now, maybe later, just different forms of no, and it just gave me more motivation to be like, oh, we're on the right track. They're threatened by us, or this, and this. So it was about using the no's as motivation and not taking no for an answer, because your one yes could change the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess like to piggyback off of that, how um kind of easy or hard was it to kind of build the network in the business world, like establishing a network? And then do you have any tips for those who are trying to establish more of a network for themselves?
It was a little easier for me because I leveraged the NFL brand. I would say NFL player Sheldon Day in the title, and then I would reach out and have my email. So usually, uh, your header or your title or whatever you want to put in the subject matter line when you send emails or messages and stuff like that, that's the first thing people see. So if you say NFL player, it's like, oh, what does he want? And you're asking for help or you're asking for any type of advice. I think they're more inclined to reach back out. But if you go in asking for uh, investment deal flow and stuff like that before you even know somebody, it's a little different. So it's about the intention grabber, and then what are you asking in that thing. So like if your end goal is to do business with somebody, ask them to teach you the business first, and then once you guys build a relationship, then you can do business with them. But don't go in and immediately ask, oh, hey, give me access to your real estate deals because I'm this NFL player. That's not how the real
Yeah.
world works. Like everything is not transactional, it's relationship based. So I think that's what a lot of people need to understand about business is a lot of it's relationship and not so much transaction.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Um, I guess another question is how how young do you guys look at these athletes to help
Yeah.
advocate for them? And then also how far do you guys carry it as well?
Yeah. So because this NIL space has been so crazy, and now even high school kids are being able to receive NIL, we kind of been going younger and younger, and then it's up and through their entirety of their career, and then post career. So the transition is the hardest part for athletes. So that's kind of when they have the identity crisis. That's when you start seeing them get more trouble. They got more free time. So how do we curate their post career or post sport career is what we like to call it. And it's like, how do we introduce them to new things? Whether you like gaming, you like podcasting, you want to be in a TV show, you want to do movies, you want to do all these different type of verticals. We try to continue to expose you throughout your playing career, so that when you get done, it's like, oh well, I was interested in gaming. I want to do a short form reel, or I want to do sports broadcasting. And now we can set you up and say, hey, try this for 3 months. Hey, try this for 6 months. Hey, try this for 9 months. Because we feel like if you just go give it a week try, it's like everybody's going to hate everything the first week because it's not what you're used to over the last X amount of years you've been playing your sport. So how do we
Mhm.
expose these guys or girls while they're playing so that when they get done, it's, oh, well, I was kind of interested in this while I was playing. Let me go kind of immerse myself into this world and see if I love it still.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Kalina.
So, do you have any athletes that will be in the 2027 or are projected to be in the 2027 NFL draft that you've been like working with? And are there any like cool stories about that you can tell us?
2027. Oh, I gotta do a deep dive on the back end of the roster. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one, but
Okay.
I'm sure we do. I'm sure we do because we work with some Notre Dame individuals. We work with IU. It's like all these local Indiana schools because I'm from Indiana. It's a little easier access. And then all the guys I played with in college have now explored and exploded on the college scene, being at University of Michigan, University of Alabama. They're all over the country. So I'll have to do a backlog and see who's on the roster and who's up and coming. But sure, I can get back to y'all about that and give y'all some insider scoop on it.
That'd be great. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. I guess just another question is now more for your career, like your NFL career. What when you came back with the Colts, what was it like playing for your hometown and playing for your home state?
Yeah. It was a cool experience from a thought process, but it was COVID, so we didn't have anybody in the stands. We couldn't really interact with family because we were daily tested, and the COVID season was probably the worst season of my life because you get tested every day. I got hurt that year, so now I'm laid up in a hospital bed. Still got to do COVID test. I was kind of excluded from the team because I was doing my rehab, and you can only have a certain amount of people in the facility at a time. So it was just not the best when it comes to being hurt and just the true experience. But like I feel like if I would have had that experience outside of the COVID year, it probably would have been one of the best years of my life.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. What was honestly what was like the COVID year like? I guess just the sense of playing in a stadium with no fans and like all those kind of things. What was that just like for you?
It was awful because I guess you feed off the crowd, and then I remember we were playing at Detroit, and they were doing like it was like the first week where they let the crowd noise be pumped in by speakers and stuff like that, and it was so awkward because you'd be looking and there was like 3 or 4 people in the stands, and then you just hear this, and I'm just like, we're a joke, we're a joke. This can't be serious. So it was weird for sure, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess we made it through, and then in 2021, we started to allow people to start coming back into the. I guess at some type of, I think it was like 30%, 40%, and then we built up to like full capacity again. But it was still really, really weird where you see people sitting 6 feet apart from each other, and I'm like, this is not real. So
Yeah. What was the craziest game you've been a part of just in your career? It can be college up to pros or wherever.
I'd probably say a 38-3 comeback with the Vikings against the Colts.
Oh yeah,
that was insane.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was there. That was insane. Or it was 30-3, something like that. And it was just like, no way. Like, this is amazing. Like, everything had to go right, and then they were just a debacle. It's like, how do you get a punt blocked? How do you do all these things wrong? It's just like they found a way to lose, and it was just crazy to be a part of it.
I guess what was like just the overall like just message from the team? Were they all like, keep your head up, keep like we're gonna come back? Did you guys know you guys were gonna come back, or was it more of like a just it's gotta work?
It was more so like, because it's like everybody's cheesy. They're like, oh, it's just one play at a time, one play at a time.
Yeah,
and like we were saying that, and then like it actually came to fruition. I'm like, what? Is this really happening? So it's just like, I don't know. Like, it started as one possession at a time, one play at a time. Oh man, like let's just go stop them, and then like it's just thing after thing after thing. It's just like there is no chance this is about to happen, and it just kept going.
What was it like on the sideline every time you kept coming back and you see the offense go out and then they go out and score, and now it's your turn? How was that feeling, like going back on the field? Like, okay, now it's my job.
You just felt the energy. Like you can feel like the crowd started to get into it, and I don't know, like y'all probably never been to Minnesota, huh?
I have. I was like 3, but
I haven't been to a Vikings game, but I've been into like I think Minnesota. I've been in Minnesota before.
Yeah.
So Minnesota is like sports country because it's cold 75% of the year. Mm-hmm. So an indoor sport, count them in. They're there. It's a sellout every week. So all you hear is school. We get a stop, and third down is electric. I will say that. Like, you can't hear anything. Like, we be on the field trying to talk to each other, and we want the crowd to be quiet, but it's like, I'd rather them be loud than quiet. So you can barely think. You can, like, you're in your stance. You be like, all I hear is this skull chant. Like, I can't think about anything. So it's pretty cool. Like, once the crowd got back into it, you felt the energy rising and rising and rising, and then Justin just going crazy. So it's like you just see everything just start happening.
What's it like seeing him? What was it like seeing him like really take off like that year? Like I'm pretty sure that year he took off.
Yeah, he was rolling. It's cool because then you just see this quiet confidence about him. Like he doesn't talk a lot. He always jokes, but when it's game day, he turns into a different person. And like you just see him like hitting crazy moves and all this other stuff, and then like being on the sideline, like I'm one of those guys where it's either I'm sitting on the bench or I'm talking trash to the other team, and then I'm like, "You can't guard him. What you gonna do? He about to do this, do this, do this." And the DB talking to me, and then Justin go cook him, and I'm like, "I thought you said this. I thought you said this." Yeah. So it's just cool, like being on that sideline and being like another fan, but you get like sideline seats for real. So when you got good players on your team, it hit a little different because you can talk trash, and the DB can't do nothing about it but just take it.
Yeah.
What's kind of like the difference between like a college football environment versus a NFL environment? Like that's something I've always personally wondered.
Same.
Like from a game day experience?
Yeah. Like as a player.
Really, it's more freedom. So in college, they gave us a strict, like, oh, you got to be here at 11. Everybody warms up as a team at 11:07. This, and this. Everything was structured in college. But then as a player in the league, it's freedom. Like kickoff is at 6, be in a locker room by 4:30, and then do whatever you want to do to get ready, and then we'll go play this game. So it's a lot more freedom at the league level because like everybody knows their body. We do a team warm up, but it's probably like 5-6 minutes, if that, and then you kind of go get ready and go play. So it's all a production at the league level. I would say at college it's more structured, and they still trying to mold you and develop you and trying to give you your own process and kind of create it for you.
Yeah. I saw this with they were talking about this with Drew Aller. They were saying they have to reteach him everything he knows about playing quarterback. Do you feel like college football is kind of going away from developing their players to get ready for the NFL, or do you feel like it just depends on the coach?
I think from a college system, it's kind of dependent on the coach. So like the little air raid, fast tempo, Chip Kelly style offense isn't really doing anything for college quarterbacks now. But like if they're under center, like a Stanford type of system where it's more pro style, I think that's more beneficial for them, and they really teach them progressions and stuff like that instead of you see one safety high, throw the go ball, stuff like that. So it kind of depends on like if they are actually reading the defense or if they got set throws. I will say that the quarterback play has decreased from going from college to professional, and it's just a systematic thing. Like they have the arm talent, but they don't understand how to read coverages, and then if the coverage switches, who's my key, things like that. So it's been really interesting to see, like, if you give a quarterback a 2 shell and then you switch to a 3, or you switch to man, or you roll like a safety down and then still play 2 off of it, how it kind of messes with their progression.
Yeah. Do you think it is only for quarterback, or do you think it's also other positions that you're starting to see a decline in as well?
I would say the linebacker play too. It's a lot of people who can't confidently fit off of D lineman these days. I think that's why everybody's kind of transitioning back to the 3-4 principles, like slug D lineman to kind of take up 2 blocks because linebackers can't really find their space in the tackle in and run lane and run fits. They don't know if the tight end goes back, you're supposed to hit and fall back, little stuff like that where I don't know if they're being taught that in college. They're more so run, see ball, get ball, essentially.
Yeah, that makes sense. Playing in the AFC Championship, I think you were on that Super Bowl 49ers team where you guys went to the Super Bowl. What was the mental process like for you guys just getting ready for those big games and those tougher opponents because it's a playoff game, everybody's playing harder, playing faster, playing stronger. So what's it like? What was it like?
It was fun. I would say that because like at that time, I think we were like one of the youngest teams at that point. Like we had like Pierre Garçon, Richard Sherman on the team, but everybody else was like on their rookie contract. So it was insane to be like, oh, like I'm in year 4 playing for a Super Bowl. Like this is amazing. So we kind of just embraced it and like, look, like this team's gonna look way different next year. Like everybody's not gonna get paid. Everybody more likely won't be here. So let's just go out here, have fun, and just kind of let the dice fall. And we just kind of just didn't really put too much pressure on ourselves because we were, I think, 3-13 the year before that. So it's like no chance we should have been in the Super Bowl. So we just like, all right, we playing with house money. Let's just go out here and ball out and have a good time.
Yeah.
So we kind of just let all the stress, all the pressure, just everything from that week, just let it go. Because at the end of the day, we felt like, look, we here. Let's go make the most of it and take advantage. But we're not gonna put pressure on ourselves if we lose by 30. It's like, all right, whatever. We made it. But we also had the mindset where we could go beat these guys because they're not that good.
Would you say you guys were able to play more free, or was it more so like, high pressure game? You felt a little stiffer, or like, you just.
I would say like, because I feel like we were up by 11 with like 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, something like that. And it's like at that moment, I think everybody started to realize like, hey, we're playing for Super Bowl. We might win this. And we added too much pressure on ourselves to where we were trying to be perfect instead of playing free. But those first 3 quarters, we're playing free. Like nobody cared if they got reached from the D line. Linebackers were covering us up. Nobody cared if you missed an assignment because Pat was probably getting hit. So it's just like we were rolling. But unfortunately, we didn't, I guess, win the game. So like we played really, really well for about 3.5 quarters, and then that last 7 minutes we just stunk it up.
Yeah. What's what are you? I guess what are you looking forward to doing next? Like in terms of your next season, and then also in terms of the company as well.
So really looking forward to this year. I feel like the game has slowed down so much for me that I can now pour into other players and still play at a high level. So I think that's probably the coolest part about everything. And probably year 4 or 5 is when things started to slow down, and I started to say, "Oh wow, like I got a good grasp of football. Like I can now teach what I'm doing on the field." Because sometimes it's like you just do stuff. People asking what you do, and I was like, I don't remember doing that. But now it's like I can teach them my progression. Like, hey, I put my arm here. His weight was here. Stuff like that, where you start to be super technical about your game and things like that. So being a mentor to the young guys, playing at a high level is probably what I'm most excited about for this next season. And then the Players Company really transcending the whole financial space for athletes. Like, how do we dictate how people do business with athletes? Instead of them taking advantage of us, we are now taking advantage of our likeness to now do business with us. So let's say somebody brings an investment opportunity to some athletes. They bring to the Players Company, and now we're saying, okay, as an athlete, how do you leverage this situation? What do you gain, not just from a capital standpoint, but economical, social economical standpoint? How do you make this marketing dollars grow for this company? How do we leverage everything from you as a person? And then how do we bring that back to the collective? And now we're doing that as a whole and not just individualized. So really professionalizing our experience, putting out more podcasts, hopefully producing a series that you'll see on Netflix here soon. And then just doing things like that where no longer allowing athletes to be one dimensional and making sure that we are well rounded as humans, business people, and athletes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see you guys, the company take off, and then see you play at a high level too. That's gonna be fun to watch.
That.
That's really gonna be fun
Appreciate
to
that.
watch. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we really thank you for your time. Thanks again for everything. We just want to say we really appreciate all that you've done on and off the field. We think it's both inspiring and motivating because we also, all three of us are also very big on giving back to our community and big on reciprocating the love that we get and showing that to others. So we really appreciate your generosity and your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all having me on. This was dope. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we would love to have you help break down some film, maybe one day. If you got some free time. So
absolutely, yeah. Y'all let me know about a D lineman, a linebacker, an O lineman. Yeah, I'll break it down with y'all for sure.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
I got you.
Thanks again for your time, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, once again, Draft Dude, everybody watching.
You're muted, Bryce.
Oh, wow, I am literally muted. That's so weird.
Dang, you gotta get back to Discord. He don't even know where it's at. That's crazy.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
That's weird because they can hear me on the stream. They just can't hear me. Y'all just can't hear me. Okay. Anyways, thank you once again for coming out and interviewing us here, or being a part of this interview, so we can show everybody the insight on how you are, your experiences, your stories. But yeah, I'll go ahead and close out. You guys have anything else before I go ahead and lead the way out here?
Oh, yeah, Sheldon, you got any things that you want to just kind of advocate for and plug real quick, just so people can know what's the come next for you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If y'all want to follow the journey of the Players Company, y'all can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the Players Company. I don't know if I need to spell that out, but I'm sure everybody know how to spell the Players Company. And if y'all want to follow me on social, it's Sheldon Day _91. Y'all can see what we up to and continue this journey with me as I continue football career, business career, and then off into the beyond.
Yes, sir. Yes, we're looking forward to seeing it.
Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you for all you've done today. Thank you, Draft Dudes, for watching, Draft fans out there, and we'll see you next week. Another episode.
Yep, next week. Oh, stay tuned. We will be breaking down games of our top 10 quarterbacks. It's probably going to be one game and one quarterback at a time because, it's harder to break. It's more detail-oriented for the quarterbacks, so just stay tuned for that. We'll let you guys decide which quarterback we do and what game you guys want to see.
All right, see you guys.